ask you each to say something. I'm just going to use the chair's privilege, if I may, just to say something briefly. So as well as being a feminist, as well as being someone who works around violence against women, as well as being a whole host of things, I'm also an auntie of tweens and little ones. And so I just wanted to say thank you, actually, from an auntie, for making such a fantastic, challenging, joyous film. And also as an auntie for representing that really special relationship between aunties and nieces. I think it's an incredibly strong one. It's one that I get a lot of joy from, and I think it's a really special bond. And to show that, it's really nice because we don't see that relationship represented very often, and just seeing the power that comes from that was really inspiring and really wonderful. And for those of us who are aunties who are committed to creating a different world for our nieces and to watching them continue to grow into the amazing women that they already are, this was just fantastic. So thank you so much for making this film. Okay, I'd just like to invite you each just to say a few words. If you want to just talk a little bit about the making of the film and what were some of the key things that you really wanted to get across and some of the key messages for you. And talk about just what were some of the things that from the girl guiding movement that really drew you to this film.
Okay, thank you. Well, firstly, thanks for your kind words. I'm really pleased that the film touched you in that way. And massive thanks to the London Feminist Film Festival for inviting this film to be a part of it. We're really honoured to be here, so thank you. I met Bryony when I used to work for an organisation called Women in Film and Television, which is a really good organisation for women that work in the industry. And we hosted an event with a screening of a documentary called Misrepresentation, which is a really great US documentary. If anyone hasn't seen it, I highly recommend it, which really looks into the issues about role models on television and kind of the impact that the media has on young people, girls and boys. And so I met Bryony at a screening of that film, and we started talking, and she explained to me that she was doing research for this project. And at the time I was full-time with Women in Film and Television. And she said she was looking for a documentary filmmaker to make a film about the project so that it could kind of be represented. And Daniela and I had made short films together, and I was kind of really excited by what Bryony was doing, but I was full-time at the time, so I said, okay, I'll try and put you in contact with some other filmmakers through the Women in Film and TV network. And Bryony ended up having a few meetings with different filmmakers, nothing kind of really clicked. And I just thought, you know what, if I don't kind of grab this opportunity with both hands, then I'm really going to regret it. So we met up, and I think over ice cream, and I said, I'd really love to make this film. Will you let me do that? And she agreed, stupidly. And so then, 3 years later, we kind of finished the film. It was quite a long journey. That's kind of how we got making the film.
I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who came here, because it does really mean a lot. Because, as Becky said, we worked 3 years on this documentary. It was a long journey. We had to work at the same time whilst doing this. We had our own jobs, so we had to work around it. So it was hard, but also we believed in this project, and that's what got us up 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning to pick Taylor up to shoot something, and just work really long hours. It's what really drove us was the belief in the project. So thanks for being here.
So I'm 18 years old, and I remember being younger. My older sister would always stop me when she'd come in and I'd be watching MTV, and she'd say, "Turn that off, I don't want you watching that." And I'd think, that's so unfair. Why is she turning off the Sugar Babes or whoever it was? And she just hated me watching MTV. And as I've gotten older, I can see why. And looking at this film, I kind of see that relationship and why your older members in your family are trying to prevent you from that kind of exposure, because it can be so damaging, as Girl Guiding have found in their Girls' Attitude Survey, which I think I'll speak a bit about later. But from the 500,000 members of Girl Guiding, I would like to thank you for creating this film and mirror what you were saying, because it is so important. It's so important that girls can see that they're not trying to be boxed in to a certain way of looking or a certain way of acting, and we're allowing girls to stretch outside of those boundaries and see that the world is something for them to explore and to be whoever they want to be. And I think that's the message that this film puts across, and it's really magical and really special.